Hey guys, my name is the Russian Badger, and my Trugosaurus Rex goes nom nom nom. Not really, that's just a joke. But isn't it so much greater that it's a recon? It's so much better that it's a recon, because I would rather crush and just absolutely just munch a recon more than any other kit. And I mean, it was like, at the time, I just thought I'd laugh at your blatant misfortune recon because you were just crushed by my Trugosaurus Rex. And to start off this specific match, it was quite wonderful, and it was very promising, seeing as I got stuck between this small mound of earth here and this bush and this fence, so I couldn't get out. And I thought, if I'm going to take on my Gustav and try to destroy this tree, I'm also going to destroy the lower half of my torso with it. So I asked Ram JB to use a 40mm grenade and blast me out of here. And it worked, but then it ended up that he committed suicide. So I do thank you very much for your sacrifice, and I don't know what to say beyond that. And the reason that I'm using the Krinkov is because I was making the SMG guide, so it was really a necessity to play with the Krinkov eventually. And it just so happened I was doing too well. You know, usually when I'm using submachine guns to get some sort of movie clip or sequence to put in the SMG guide just for your pure entertainment, it was like, okay, I haven't died yet. This is not good. I'm not supposed to be doing this well. I'm supposed to be doing well, but not this well. And I found out that I do like the Krinkov quite a bit, but only for close quarter situations. The longer range kills are much more difficult because the iron sights are just pure black, and they totally obscure your view with recoil once you start to get beyond the third or fourth bullet if you're going in bursts. And it's sort of a mixed bag. It's definitely a great submachine gun, but under certain circumstances. Like, for example, I would still fancy the PP2K in longer ranges. I always would. And it's because of the lower recoil, and even those iron sights on the PP2K, they're very, very precise. They've got that one little, it's like a notch or a tick that's very, very small and precise. And it's easier to get those longer ranges also because of the lower recoil. But I'd say for Cold War, the Krinkov is perfect. Not only because the it is the AK-74U if I'm not mistaken, but I always think of it as the Krinkov because that's what always shows up after it gets shot in the face by some catfish that's using it. But then again, you wouldn't be a catfish because this is not a catfish weapon. But I am also using the catfish weapon of the Carl Catfish Gustav thing. And I'm sure some of you aren't very excited about that. But then again, I really think at this point that thing is more so catfish-like when you're using it with explosive weapon damage, because that blast radius is a little insane, if you ask me. And 90% of the time when I die from the Gustav, it's like, okay, let's look at his perks. Okay, he's definitely using explosive weapon damage. And that's something that I've personally grown to expect. And here you're going to see a little bit of failure on my part. It's going to take at least a clip or two to finish this guy off. You see, I'm sort of getting lost in the iron sights here. And I try to get him with the last 8 bullets, but no, he's gonna resist. And then so I go back again and I slice him. Just right in between the building and him, just slice him in half. And give me your sandwich. Get munched. Oh man, that's what you get for missing your shotgun shot. And that's ultimately what always happens to me with shotguns. If you miss your first shot, you're either going to get knifed, you're going to get blasted in the face by somebody else's Sega, you're going to get mowed down by an LMG. Basically, you're going to die if you miss your first shot for the most part. Unless you utilize that trick that I don't really like doing, which is where you reload. No, you don't reload, you switch weapons quickly with a shotgun instead of pumping it. But then again, I feel as if that throws off my aim, so I don't always enjoy doing that. But here I'm just mowing down people with hip fire, and the hip fire on the AK-74U Krinkov is quite wonderful. I mean, I would say that all of the hip fires and all the SMGs are quite wonderful. I think probably one of my favorites is the UMP for hip fire because it's very accurate. But the Krinkov will suffice nonetheless. And as you can see here, absolutely destroying this team. It's fairly conspicuous. I mean, I think that's a fairly innocuous assumption to say that it's conspicuous. But I'm just going to mow down this left side, which is something that I usually do because the right side is always so congested all the time. It's like, I was going to make a joke there about diarrhea, but I don't want to make it because that would be inappropriate. It's a joke that I sometimes make, but it's so inappropriate. Well, you know what? Let me just tell you it anyways, because if I don't tell you it, you guys are just gonna flame me in the comments saying, "Why didn't you tell us? You're such a troll." Well, all right. So I think it was my friend's dad that told me this first. He's like, "All right, we've got a problem. Your mother has diarrhea, and we think it's genetic because it's in her genes." Get it? It's genetic and it's in her genes. Hopefully you get it. I mean, some of you that aren't exactly quick on the draw, or some of you that aren't exactly the brightest spoon in the drawer. Let's say that. Might not exactly understand that one, but for the most part, I think most of you will get it. And if not, please send me a private message, and I will explain it to you in detail in a long, long paragraph. I bet I could do it over the internet via typed message. I bet I could explain it to you. It would be much easier in person. But this is the end of the game. And es war so einfach. So einfach. It was quite simple. I mean, if you ask me, it wasn't too difficult. There's your final score. I want to thank you guys for watching, and you guys can expect the SMG guide on Sunday night. Auf Wiedersehen, bis bald, und das Vidania.